Here I'm explaining what are the responsibilities of a merchandiser, and basically are the different areas that we will actually see during the course. We will understand the market knowledge. We will understand how you create a brand identity. We will work through the product development process and how you create a merchandising plan in order to be able to really have a plan of what is your collection, how it works out in terms of if you have the right fit, if you have the right products, the right prints. So we work all through the product development process in order to help designers create something that is commercial, and also not only that is commercial, but at the same time that makes sense, and that is not only artistic, but also that it makes sense for the final consumer. We work with sourcing and material management, and we interface with manufacturers because it is quite important for us to bring the best products, quality, the best prices in order to maintain a strategy that we have decided and established in the company. And at the same time, we're working with marketing because at the end, you don't want to communicate a message that is quite far different from the identity of the brand or the collection itself. So you work with all these areas in order to give the same message across from the beginning of the idea that you have, the commercial purpose that you have for the collection, and at the same time for the purpose of showing your collection, and at the same time showing the identity of the brand. So it is like managing a small business because you are working with the different departments. You even work with finance because you have a budget. You need to understand what is your budget for your collection and how you have to distribute it. And then at the same time, you're planning a range plan worldly because at the same time you will plan a range plan for different, if you're working in a big brand, for different parts of the world. And then the buyer is the one that is going to select what of that range plan, but you will give them a quite direction, a must buy direction of what they need in order to have a general view and focus of the brand. So as I was telling you, we're in a new world. We're in a new ways of living. People are changing the way they live. People are changing the way they react to fashion. So we need people that understand those changes. We need people that are flexible and that can predict what are the new commercial trends, that can adjust to the changes of the markets and consumer and interpret it in a fashionable way. So basically what I'm trying to say, if you had always designed like big gowns for your company, and then you see that the world is changing to a more easygoing way of life, the merchandiser is there to tell you, hey, look at it. The world is changing right now. This is what people are wearing. This is what they need right now. And this is what you should produce without losing the design perspective of the brand. So that's why I feel that now more than ever, merchandisers are needed in companies. Merchandisers are needed to interpret what are the new commercial trends that are coming, to make collections that are more focused, because nowadays we don't want to have 10, 20 different collections. We want consumers want collections that are focused, that have an identity, and that are actually offering you something that works, something that you really need at that moment and that you're going to love, because maybe you're in a luxury session or in the high fashion session, but at the same time you are evolving with the world and you're changing the way you perceive fashion. So it is very critical to have those type of people that are constantly analyzing who is your customer, how are they changing their buying habits, why are they changing, and how they can adapt. Another important thing is sustainability. Sustainability right now is one of the most important issues that the fashion industry is facing. And this is an issue that the merchandiser is constantly dealing with because they know where the materials come from. They deal with the manufacturers every day, so they can try and find new alternative ways to not change the quality of what you offer as a brand, but to choose alternatives, better alternatives to produce. And that is the job of the merchandiser, to work with sourcing, to work with the manufacturers to find the best price and the best quality that can give you something more sustainable. So why is important now? Because these are the type of people you need in the company in order to be profitable in these changes that are happening right now. It's a great opportunity for people either that have done fashion and want to explore a more business oriented also area, for people that are business oriented and want to enter in the fashion industry, or for entrepreneurs or designers who are planning to go open their new brand and need like more structure, need to understand how to analyze the market, how to analyze consumers, how to do a merchandising plan in order to be effective and to be more profitable as a company. So we are here to teach you all the different methodologies, all the different all the different tips that I have learned through my career of how to better sell products in the merchandising as a merchandiser and how to promote them in a better way. So it is quite interesting because I was a fashion student like some of you are, and I always wanted professors that not only will teach you theory, but also will have an experience and will tell you how the theory can be applied. And that's what this course is going to bring to you. We'll teach you how to apply with any theory that we have, and we will have an intense week where we will apply it to a real project in order for you guys to be able to understand how product merchandising work. Here's a question. They're asking me if this is for someone who has studied fashion design and who should be the person that should study this type of courses. If you have studied fashion design, if you have studied business, this type of course could always help for you. In what sense? Because if you're studying fashion designs, this will allow you to have more control and planning of your collection. You will also understand how to interact with the different departments of the company you work with. And also you will also have a more oriented commercial way of planning your collection, and not only an artistic way, which is quite necessary because at the end of the day, as I had always say, increasing profitability in a company is the main goal, goal for everybody. So it is very important if you're a fashion designer to understand how can I increase the profitability of my company, and how you do this by creating more commercial collections.
Oh, thank you, Mar.
Yes. Does anyone else have another question?
Okay, let's see. Okay, about the admission. Okay.
Okay, I think Denise can explain this one better for me.
Yes, we normally require students to send their curriculum, so description of the previous studies, studying experiences, and maybe professional experiences people have, and also motivational letter, just to know why you are interested in this type of course and why you would like to study in our school, just to know you better. And of course, we always invite students to have a little chat with us before applying, so that we know if the course is right for you, and how can we guide you through the choice of the course that's best for you. Because obviously our interest is to support your career.
And the best thing that it is quite a personal type of way, since we will be working online, we will be in touch. So we will always, the product merchandising course will always be thinking about you, thinking of how, what are your needs and what will you need in order to improve them in the future. So we always work very personal with each type of student.
Yes, and this is also the, I can say it's also the approach of Accademia Costume e Moda in general. So we try to focus on the student.
One of the questions that they're asking is, can we do this course if we're not in Italy? Denise?
It's presential online, it can be done in Rome. Okay, yes, you can do it because the intake in October will be, as we said, mainly online. There will be just 1 week, intensive week in January, which will be in Milan. Okay, so your presence on site will be only for that intensive week.
Yeah, yes, and we will find ways. If there's impossible for people to travel in that time, we will find ways and manage. You should communicate with admissions and explain your problem, and then we can see what are the options for this. Also, another question, as we had already answered that it's mainly online, and then there's 1 week in Milan. But at the same time, if you speak with the admissions and if you have a problem due to the recent situation worldly, we can arrange a way of finding a way that you don't have to be present here if it demands. Also, they're asking if they're interested in fashion buying, can you also do this course? Of course, because product merchandising is the beginning of fashion buying. So basically, we establish all the beginning of the whole collection, and then there is a bit of explaining of what is fashion buying within, because this is where everything starts. It starts from product merchandising, and then it goes through the other elements like planning, buying, even visual.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
Yes.
okay, another one.
Yes.
Okay, the coaching session. What about the coaching session and how to, okay, how to prepare yourself for the job interviews?
Yes, it's very significant that not only you will receive the course theory, you will have an intense week, but also during that time, there's going to be a coaching professor that is going to let you know how to prepare yourself for different interviews, what you need to know when you are going to apply for a company, how to present yourself. So this is very complete, not only in teaching you theory, applying the theory that you're being taught, but at the same time, you will be able to practice and be able to prepare your resume. Talk to someone that knows about coaching and know what do you need in order to successfully apply for a job in the fashion industry. How and where do we apply? Can you answer that, Denise, please?
Yes, of course. You will simply need to write us at the same email I have written above your screen. You should probably see it. Is info@accademiacostumemoda.it, and you will simply need to send your resume or curriculum and your motivational letter. And we will probably have an interview, and we can also have another chat also with Marta to talk about your application for the course.
Yes, and also if you need information of the course cost, you can also write directly to the admission, as Denise is telling you, and they will let you know about the different cost of the cars.
Yes.
They're asking if you have if you want to start start a small brand, if this course will be useful. Of course, because as I was telling you, doing product merchandising is like managing a small business. So it is very useful to understand how is the whole process, because it will make your company even more efficient than starting a business just not knowing how to do merchandising, because this will give you make you more organized, will help you with the planning, will help you understand what you need to analyze, and to not do it just organically, but also to understand what you need to keep in mind in a business in terms of product development in order for you to be successful.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for your presence and for coming here and hear this webinar with us. And I thank you all for being here, and I hope to see you soon in the class, in the virtual class.